that we delay closing the jail until further notice.
Second.
Comment on the motion before we move forward?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, my recommendation to you is that you all table this particular motion. There's been a lot of back and forth internally between various council members and my office. Those council members have indicated to me that they are represented by counsel. Their counsel is not here. That representation places my office in a very precarious situation because I can't take sides in anything. That simply means that I call balls and strikes. If I had been made aware of this particular motion, I would have taken the steps necessary to have the counsel that we have retained here present to advise the members of council. But there was no such notice given. So my recommendation to you all is at a minimum, table it to the March 17th meeting so that particular council can advise you all. In terms of pure legal terms, I've been conflicted out of these discussions based on certain council members indicating to us that they've retained independent counsel.
Councilman Moore, motion to
Mr. Mayor, based on the city attorney's recommendation, I'd like to make a substitute motion to table until the 17th for consideration of council.
Vice Mayor Perry.
A second.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Clarity. Am I understanding that the motion that I made is being recommended to be tabled to the 17th of March?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, we will revisit my motion.
By virtue of your counsel, we will revisit the motion, but counsel, please advise.
Councilman Coleman, at that particular time, council will have a chance to determine that particular motion.
Am I understanding that council will determine if the motion is in order? The reason I'm asking, I don't quite understand. I don't understand.
I don't mean to cut across you, Councilman Coleman. I'm trying to walk a tightrope. I ethically can only give you all so much advice as to what you all can and cannot do. And we've reached that point. At the last meeting, my position was stated pretty clearly in terms of what the rules of council dictate, what you all approved. When I received word that independent counsel had been retained by some of you without identifying who that counsel was, that put me in the middle of a dispute amongst now the 7 of you. And it goes back to what I said earlier. I can't pick sides. And more importantly, I won't pick sides. And so when you ask a question as to whether or not council will determine whether or not your particular motion is proper, that probably errs on the side of the council coming in. When I say council, I mean the attorneys coming in, and that's probably a decision best left for me, because just on its face, it really doesn't pass the smell test for me in terms of when I say that my office has been conflicted out, we're conflicted out. We can't make decisions anymore. We can't advise you all anymore as a body Because we're now at a point where people are saying, you decide with me or you decide with them. And that's something that my office cannot, and more importantly, we will not do.
So there's a substitute motion to table. Is there a second? You just second it. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
My question is procedural. Because Mr. Coleman made a motion, was simply said to delay the closing of the jail until further notice. And it was seconded. I don't see how there's a conflict or how the choosing of the attorney has anything to do with it. He simply made a motion to delay the closing of the jail until further notice. It was seconded, and it would appear to me that that's what we needed to vote on, not a substitute motion. It was a simple, it didn't say delays the closing of the jail until the attorney can choose sides. It didn't say delay of the closing of the jail until the attorney can tell us which way to go. He simply said, I'd like to make a motion to delay the closing of the jail until further notice. And it was seconded. And it appears that that's so cut and dry, I don't see why we've gone around what's wrong with it.
There was also a substitute motion put on the floor, Councilwoman Wilson Smith.
Yes, it was. And I acknowledge the
Which
substitute
was
motion.
seconded,
Okay.
which subsequently overrides the first one.